Okay, oyster dressing time. So you got your oysters, your crackers, your melted butter, salt, pepper, chicken stock, turkey stock, whichever one you want to use, your pan, and then your onion and your celery, which the celery you're going to split down the middle all the way like that. Move these onions out the way. Do this one straight down the middle. Make sure your pan is nice and clean. I'll wipe it out with my rag. You're going to want to keep a rag because the oysters are going to get really messy. So, I'm going to put the onions in the clear pan lid right here. And you're going to chop these. You don't want them too thick. I'll look crazy on the video. I know you'll be able to fast forward through all this, but I don't want to have to edit the video and do all that dumbness, so I'm going to just send you a long, drawn-out video that you can fast forward through to get to the parts that you need to get to. Remember, you're making this from your heart. You're putting love into it. This is something you're going to teach your babies. And then they're going to teach their babies. This comes from Tony's side of the family. It's a family recipe. So you're going to put this in your pan, your empty pan. Make sure all pieces are broken apart, not stuck together. And go on to your second piece. The first time I had this oyster dressing, me and Tony were living in Ponderosa in Currituck, and his aunt brought us some food for Thanksgiving, and I never did like dressing, but the dressing I was referring to was the white folks dressing, that Stouffer's box dressing. And then I tried this dressing, and I was like, this ain't like that other dressing. This is good dressing. And so that summer, I got pregnant with Jalen, and I can't remember if we cooked that first year we were together or that second year, but I had got the recipe from his mama, and we started making it for our little family. And every year since then, we've been making oyster dressing. It's one of our favorites. One of our favorite menu or items on the menu for Thanksgiving or Christmas or Easter. We did it at Easter time too. So there's your celery. You're going to do your onion. Do that a few times just like that, and then you're going to chop that thinly. Basically just dumping everything in the pan. My eyes is watering. Woo. Oh! Get you crying. Thinking about all the memories of you and your babies making oyster dressing. I'd always let my babies squish up the crackers, which I'm going to show you here in a minute. That was their job. They didn't get to do none of the chopping because I didn't want them to chop their little fingers off, but they got to crush the crackers all the time. Okay, all that's in there. Mix that around so none of the pieces are... Ugh! Got my face. I'm crying. Okay. Now, this was my baby's favorite part. You take all 4 sleeves. You got to be kind of careful because you don't want to crush them too much where the ends pop out. So you start on one side and you can feel it getting kind of tight down here, so you just work them up so you're not busting them out the seams. And you just make sure they're in a fine little, not really fine, but make sure they're all chopped up into little pieces. I don't want no big pieces. And once you get them chopped up or crushed up, then you can pop one side and you can see it starting to come out, and you just keep doing this to make sure that you're getting all them big pieces out. That's one. And you just do the same thing to all of them. The oven is preheated on 350. Just a little pan. I might have to use that glass one you sent over here. Yeah, let me go grab that other pan. I'm gonna pause this and go rinse this out real fast. Okay, I cleaned the pan. Got one more to do. Okay, get my rag back out because now it's going to get messy. So, all your ingredients. Go in like that. Now you take your oysters. You want the flavor of the oyster, so you're not going to rinse them off. You're just going to feel with your hand, because oysters have shells in them and a lot of times they have pearls. So This one don't want to open. Like that. All right. Oh yeah, they're fresh. So this is where it gets messy. Like I said, you need your rag because it's gonna get messy. You're gonna take one oyster. That's what an oyster looks like. You're gonna feel it in your hand, and then you're gonna break it up. But as you're breaking it up, you're feeling for things like shells or pearls. And usually the shell or the pearl is in the bigger part of the oyster. And you want to break it up just like that. That one didn't have anything in it. And then go on to your next one. These are some healthy oysters. So you don't feel anything there. Just break that off. You go on to that bigger part and you just squeeze it right in your hands like that. Go on to the next one. That one got a little piece of a shell. Just break it up. Break all the little pieces and just let it go through your hand like that, like you're squeezing it, because you want to feel, because the worst thing you can do is have a piece of shell in here and somebody be eating it and break a tooth or chip a tooth. Pearls are known for chipping tooths. I've chipped a back tooth. It still has the indentation from the pearl back there. So make sure you feel all through them. Look at that shell. Well, how do I, there you go. It's a big shell right there. That would have definitely chipped a tooth. That's why this part right here, the babies can help with crushing the crackers, but you, being the adult, need to really go through each and every little piece here, just for the safety of your teeth. One more. And then you take the juice, which I'm going to get a strainer because I don't want any shells in. You Did we drop any? No. I'll be right back with a strainer. And take a strainer so you don't get any shells, but you want all that juice because that's what gives it that oyster flavor. And if there's no shells in this right here, you can also put these little pieces in, which there's no shells in that part, so go ahead and put that right there. Okay, that part's done. Now, now you pour your butter, not directly on the oysters because it's still hot. You want to do it on the edge. You're going to mix with your hands all this stuff together anyway. You never want to cook seafood before cooking seafood, if that makes sense. It's not good. I'm going to put my pepper in now. Not a lot, just enough. You're not going to do a lot of salt because there's salt, I believe, in the butter that I put in. I had salted butter, yeah, and in the crackers. So you're just going to put a little bit of salt. That's enough. And now, your chicken stock. Pour directly over. And the crackers are going to absorb a lot of that chicken stock. Then you're going to take your hands and mix everything together. Make sure every little corner, every little part of this has oysters, onions, celery, everything. So you really get in there. You squeeze everything together so everything is incorporated. I'm so used to making 2 or 3 pans of oyster dressing. I guess you didn't need this other stock. So when you come to get it, you can take that one home with you. But yeah, make sure you squeeze everything together. All the crackers have to be wet. They cannot be dry, because then you're going to have a dry, nasty piece of dressing, which you don't want. So make sure you mix it all up. Squeeze it all through. Oh, my arm's getting tired. So, looks like we're about done. You can't be scared to get your hands dirty with the kind of food that we make in this family, because everything is just hands-on, made with so much love that you can taste it. That's what you want. You want your babies to remember you as cooking something amazing for their soul. Okay, I think we're about done. I just want to make sure everything's stirred up from the bottom up and everything is incorporate it. Alrighty. Okay, this is going to be your finished product that you're going to put in the oven. I'm not even going to say for how long until I'm done cooking it, because I don't even think I've ever timed how much time it takes to cook this. I just know when it's done. You can look at it and tell, because the dressing kind of separates from the edges and has a nice golden brown across the top and on the edges. So let me wipe my hands off so you can see what this looks like. Can I turn it around? No, I can't. Okay. That is what you're going to be putting in the oven. When you shake it, it's a little jiggly. So I will make another video and attach it to these two once it's done. You'll be one of us cooking in no time, Lenasia. Cooking with your heart. And this is your finished product. Oyster dressing. Look how beautiful it looks. See how it's separating from the glass around the edge? And it's a beautiful brown color. Plus, if you take a spoon, hold on, or even a knife, and do this, you can tell that it's done just by that. Isn't that beautiful? Look how golden brown it is around the edges. Family secret oyster dressing right there for you.